It's the Shatkin First Down pregame show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guest, Buffalo Bills alum, Brian Moorman. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
What a difference a week makes. Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. I'm Rich Gaenzler, and big love out to Damar Hamlin. Welcome back to Buffalo 3. So happy to see that you're back here at Buff Gen doing your rehab and recovery. We continue to root you on. On today's show, Jared will join us in our first segment. We're going to go around the water cooler in a second to talk about the Patriot game. We'll also have a very special Bills guest joining us in the third segment in the huddle. We'll do our Tino's Dough with some trivia and also discuss kind of a general overview of what this week was like for Bills Mafia. And in our final segment, we'll talk about, of course, this wild card game against the Dolphins, the third match against Miami at Highmark Stadium in the wild card game. But first, as I mentioned, let's go around the water cooler. All right, here we are around the water cooler. Dr. Jared Shatkin, Rich Gaenzler back. Let's talk about the Patriot game, Jared. And first up, look, Mac Jones, I thought that the game plan that they set up for him was excellent. And had it not been for a handful of plays, obviously the 3 picks that we'll talk about, I thought Mac Jones played pretty well in that game.
Yeah, and I think a couple of those picks were at the end of the game. And the one to Milano, the one to Edmonds when the game was kind of at hand. I didn't think he played badly at all, and I think our secondary, especially the outside cornerbacks, had a little bit of a rough game. But you know what? We did come up with a way to stop them at some points, and we got the ball back, and they punted a decent amount. So I think the game plan was good for the Patriots, but I think we also had a better game plan defensively.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the defensive backfield, because the one touchdown from Parker crossing along the back line of the end zone with nobody near him, I mean, I think that speaks a little bit more about Damar Hamlin's absence than we even know. Dean Marlowe played in that game, and he hadn't played in the week before, and there was no safety help on that touchdown, no safety help on the other touchdown in the corner when Myers makes an acrobatic, unbelievable SportsCenter highlight reel catch. And Elam didn't have any safety help either on the other touchdown.
Yeah, but I think kind of that play, Elam did not have very good coverage on either. You can't really get beat inside and lose a jump ball inside. Devontae Parker's a decent player. I don't think he's one-on-one should be able to beat the first-round pick of the Buffalo Bills like that. And I do agree. I think Dean Marlowe is a player who came mid-season, and I think maybe just with the lack of reps, maybe he allowed Devontae Parker to get lost on that touchdown. Also, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. They schemed up a pretty nice play down in the red zone. And, you know, when you muddy it up in the red zone, sometimes somebody squirts out and is wide open. So that kind of happened.
I'm glad you brought up the red zone, because the red zone has been tough for Josh Allen this year. Yeah. Especially tough. And he had another red zone giveaway this past week.
Another red zone interception, yeah. But I think he did flex his arms a little bit and have a little bit of a Superman game this week. That pick before the half was kind of a boneheaded play. And unfortunately, this year it's come to happen to Josh a couple times. But besides that play, he was pretty good.
He was really good. And you see the chemistry that he has with his receivers, right? I mean, between the Knox touchdown, where Josh is virtually all day and he scans the field, Knox is aware of the situation, goes one way and comes back. Mm-hmm. We've seen Dawson and Josh do that all year long. That was beautiful. Of course, the Diggs play was an absolute dime. And then the John Brown play was phenomenal as well, as John Brown again reacts to Josh's situation, and Josh puts the ball in the only place that John Brown can catch it, right?
And I mean, it's a thing where they talk about having camaraderie in a locker room and being together, and it's almost like it's buzzwords, right? But then something like Damar Hamlin's situation happens, and now you're able to look at a team that is truly just clicking on all cylinders, because Josh is back there trusting his O-line on that first touchdown enough to really just, you know, maneuver his feet around, not even worry about the blind side, find Dawson Knox in the back of the end zone. He throws that ball to Stephon Diggs when Diggs is not even looking. He throws it 60 yards in the air. I mean, that's one of the best throws you'll see in your life. So, I mean, that was unbelievable. And then John Brown is on the practice squad, but, let's just throw it up to him and float a ball 42 yards and have him jump and catch it and right in stride. I mean, it's a team. That's what the Bills are right now, and they're finding their stride at the right time.
And we saw what John Brown did with the football, giving it to Denny Killington. What an amazing moment that was. I think one that maybe didn't take enough of the notoriety that it maybe deserved, certainly. And of course, we still haven't talked about the kickoffs. I'm a guy that has been pretty vocal about getting rid of the kickoff entirely because nothing ever happens with the kickoff. How often do we see the return man like this in the end zone? Look, it took 500 games to get 4 return touchdowns all year in the league. And of course, Nyheim Hines has 2 in one game. Pretty remarkable.
That feels like something from up above, though.
For sure.
The first play of the game, to take that for a touchdown and get the crowd into it. I mean, that's goosebumps. That's chills right there. And that only happens in real life and in football. And that was an awesome 3 years and 3 months to the day. Like, just everything seemed like there was somebody up above wanting that play to happen. And then for him to do it twice, and it's a guy who I've been preaching on the show about maybe we should get him some more touches, but yeah, you say get rid of the kickoffs. I'm glad they didn't get rid of it yet because that was an awesome thing to see Sunday.
For sure. It was remarkable, emotional, and you were there, you were in the stadium, so really, really cool that the game played out as well as it did. Okay, so we move on to the wild card game against the Dolphins. You will rejoin me in the final segment to talk about that. A very special Bills guest joins us after a short timeout on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I'm bored. This is the worst day ever.
Remember when we used to go to the park? Another headache. Come out and play. Migraines can affect everyone and take us away from our fun activities and cause us to ignore the ones we love. The Dent Headache Center helped my mom.
Yeah, my dad too.
So now we don't miss out on all the fun stuff. Look at me! Whee!
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. I'm joined by my good buddy, and you all know him. He wore 8 when he played for the Bills, multiple Pro Bowler, and spent, how many years you play in the league? 10?
13, 14, 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a good run.
Sure it was.
A good run.
Heck yeah. Let's talk about the week that it was. And I mean, you went through something fairly similar. You were on the team when Kevin Everett went through what he went through in that opening game of 2007. Kind of walk us through your remembrances of that.
I think for us at the time, we didn't know the gravity of the situation until afterwards. So A lot of people may ask, hey, how did you keep playing? It's like, well, we really didn't know the gravity because we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't know what, Dr. Cappuccino was going through in the ambulance as they were leaving and going to the stadium until later, and how important it was, the decisions that he had to make and so forth. And obviously everything took place on the field there in Cincinnati. And whereas, us as viewers didn't necessarily see it, but, with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck saying what was going on, I mean, it was just like the air out of everybody's living room, right? And including ours, and, tears and, worry and, worrying for somebody that, you almost feel like it's your teammate. And I think that all fans felt that way, quite honestly. The more I hear about him, the more I love, and he seems like a really great guy, and excited to see what his future holds.
Obviously the talk, Miami too is not going to play. They're going to go with their third string quarterback. And the Bills are, I think, 13-point favorites in the playoffs. That's really unheard of. And there's people saying, well, it's going to be a walk in the park. And, and then there's other people that are saying, wait a minute, it's the NFL. You just don't know. And you know Sean McDermott's going to have that team thinking the right way and not thinking that this is going to be an easy pushover victory and that they got to do their jobs in the end, right?
Yeah, I think you took words out of my mouth. I mean, this is the NFL. I mean, there are no easy wins, and teams will find a way. You got to give credit to the Dolphins and the coaching staff there. They've done great all year, and they found a way to win last week too. And I don't think you can sleep on them. I mean, I think that this is a playoffs. I mean, this is where, I go back to whenever I first started in the league, and our special teams coach, Danny Smith, and he's still in Pittsburgh, and I got so much respect for him. And I'll never forget him telling me in the playoffs, he's like, we just got to make the playoffs. At that point, it's easy for the coaches. They don't have to coach the players anymore. They coach themselves. And you got to understand, this is the playoffs. I mean, this is the guys are going to go out and they're going to coach themselves because they want to. This is it. This is what we play for all year. It's 0-0. And so you can't sleep on this team. And I do believe, you said it too, Coach McDermott will have them ready.
And I guess I wish Jacksonville good luck, I guess.
Hey,
for now.
You know what? Hey, here's my vote. I would love to see the AFC Championship in Buffalo.
Right on.
But and I would love that to be against the Jags. That would be fantastic. But if there's going to be a neutral site, my vote is bring it to Jacksonville. Everybody else keeps turning it down. Come down here. Why not put it down here?
Sure.
It's going to if it has to be Bills Chiefs, let's bring it to Jacksonville. I'd love that. That'd be great.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Well,
but I would much rather be in Highmark Stadium. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Let's get that there.
You played for the Bills. You lived in Buffalo. You were a Chiefs fan growing up, right?
Yeah. This is pretty much Chiefs fan growing up, Jags fan because I live here.
Right.
But there's nothing. I bleed blue and red. I mean, this is it's all Bills all the time. And
yeah, man.
We want to see him we want to see him stand on that podium at the end. But
sure.
Bottom line, I'd love to see a home game all the way through. But you know what? If it's a neutral site, it doesn't matter. I think I heard Andy Reid said something about, hey, we play in a McDonald's parking lot. Hey, you know what? So will we. We'll play wherever you want.
Absolutely.
I don't care where it is.
Yeah.
Come play it on Lake Erie for as all I care. But
yeah, there would be nothing better. I mean, listen, half of what Josh Allen does when he plays is playground style, right? I mean, the way that guy operates and the plays that he comes up with seemingly out of nowhere that are off script. Why the hell not? Because I think that speaks to his strength. Anyway, all right, I told you I wouldn't keep you, so I'm going to let you go. I love you. Okay. Best to the fam, and hopefully we talk soon, all right? There's Brian Moorman. Go Bills. Go Bills. That's right. Bills. This is the Shatkin First Buffalo pregame show. More coming up right after this.
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
If there's one thing I love more than Western New York, it's the people of Western New York. So all my friends from Buffalo, Amherst, and Tonawanda, Williamsville, Cheektowaga, and Orchard Park, where would you love to have dinner tonight?
Brussels, of course. Brussels, of course.
One more time.
Brussels, of course.
Thank you for being my guest and letting us do the rest.
Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. It's time to go in the pocket. All right, with Albany Empire Arena League football quarterback Sam Casanova, who joins us every week to talk about the quarterback play. So, you got three to choose from, buddy. You got Tua, you got Teddy, and you got Skyler.
And who knows, maybe Mike Glennon.
Even Mike Glennon. Oh, my gosh. So take your pick, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up in the air right now. I don't think there's a good chance Tua plays with his history of injury. So, I mean, I'd be looking at either Teddy or Skyler Thompson. And, I mean, we know what Teddy is. He's a good, not great game manager. And I I think if Skylar Thompson plays, then it could get ugly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Teddy Bridgewater hasn't finished a game this year.
Yeah.
Right? The first game he went out after the first play with concussion, or at least symptoms of it, and then the last game he went out with his dislocated finger. So he may not even finish the game.
He does play, he's not finished.
Right. So I guess we're talking about Thompson regardless in this game. Big kid, right? Yeah. Decent athlete, but not a lot of time in the league, not a lot of reps, not a lot of game action to throw him into a road playoff game.
Especially up here, this weather,
Yeah.
it just seems like he's not super comfortable back there. So if he does end up playing, I think the Bills will roll, but crazier things have happened.
And Miami, with him at quarterback last year, racked up a grand total of 9 offensive points at home in a game that they needed, right? Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for that. Although we didn't really tell anybody anything, but that's okay anyway, because there wasn't a whole lot to tell about anyway, because Skylar Thompson is, again, sort of a mystery to everyone at this point. Let's go in the huddle. All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Sam's back after going in the pocket. We are happy to be able to change back to our original format after taking the week off with what happened to DeMar, and ecstatic for his recovery and the fact that he's back in Buffalo, recovering and rehabbing at Buff John. It's so exciting. That's right, everybody with the threes. Still praying for you, DeMar, if you're watching. We got the crew here. I'm surrounded by Shatkins. We got Jared and Sam on this side. You guys aren't Shatkins, but we got Sam. We got Coach Bob over here as well. All of them have been as part of the huddle previous. So, guys, I mean, take me through your week. Dr. Sam, we'll start with you.
Well, you know, it was an emotional week. I mean, that's the key word around Western New York. And to be honest with you, I think that we've now are reaching the wave, the peak, where we can really, move off of that emotion and move forward now that they know DeMar is doing well. I think the Bills are primed to win this first game. I can't imagine that they're going to struggle through that. Miami's certainly got their shortcomings in many things. We don't know about their offense. We don't know about their defense. I mean, a lot of things going on there. But, I'm excited to see them hit the field at a home game this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Bob, obviously they built up some momentum thanks largely in part to the opening play of that game against the Patriots. I mean, so many people talked about tears being shed when they saw that hard to believe Hollywood script-like play happen.
Absolutely. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Been around, watched sports a long time, and it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Timing and everything couldn't be more special. And when he got to the 50, even with the punter, he turned it on, and he was just gone. And it was just, I think everyone just was amazed. I would have loved to have been in the stadium. I was not in the stadium.
Yeah, I think the same way. I think we all were. You were there, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about. I was in my living room watching the game, but what was it like being there?
I mean, yeah, it just felt a little different. It was such a quick turnaround from going from DeMar being in a place where he was in critical condition to he's tweeting and excited about the game. And so I think almost that lifted the fan base into a place where they can get excited about the game, because I don't know if they want to get excited about the game if DeMar's still there and still injured, but he's there cheering his team on. And then it seemed like that run back, he just wasn't going to be denied. I mean, he was even with almost the entire team, but it's like when he was even, he was leaving. He was out. He got up to 22 miles per hour, and it felt like there was emotion behind the run. It seemed like that whole play, just from the start to finish, the run back and then the rest of the game was almost just like a Hollywood script. Exactly.
I was going to say, and Sam, we have been waiting for a breakout game from Nyheim Hines, and there it was, right place, right time, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that we went and got him. He's electric in the return game. I mean, he hasn't had too many chances on punts, but 2 in one game, you don't see that happen very often.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then, of course, Sam, what kind of a pressure that takes off the team, right? A lot of the guys leading up to the game were like, I cannot wait until that first hit, that first snap, until we're actually playing, and now your head is really in the game, because obviously the guy on the other team wants to beat you. Yeah. But that thing, what a relief it had to have been to those guys on the sideline to get that kind of out of the way.
Well, they talk about breaking the ice. That certainly did it. But I've been in those situations where, you're really apprehensive, whether it's a tough opponent or you just, the guys are hurt or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it just, evens out the mood, and then everybody's back on the right page. And that was tremendous. I mean, I've got chills just thinking about that.
For sure.
Play, not to mention the second one he did, which was even more tremendous. So I don't know, just a lot of fun. I mean, the Bills, they're a great team. They got a lot of depth now.
For sure.
And we're showing it all over.
For sure. It was, Coach, you know, it's cliche. You talk about it a lot, but it was a complete team win, right? You got the special teams touchdowns that they needed desperately. Despite the big plays from the offense only generated 21. The defense got takeaways, and not only did they get takeaways, but they were able to convert into points. And when the offense gave the ball up, the defense prevented points. They only gave up 3 points off of the Bills' giveaway. So really a complete game.
Yeah, it's interesting that Belichick got beat on special teams.
Right.
He's a special teams phenomenon coaching, and he got beat on 2 special teams plays. And I thought he coached them up pretty well for the offense, but maybe they didn't spend enough time thinking about our special teams. It got him lulled into sleep or something, but it was great to see it all happen. The defense held up at the end, and they made some great plays. And Milano, and I'll give Edmund some credit, made a nice play at the end of the game.
For sure, for sure. Okay, guys, time to get some Tino's dough, all right? We got to eat, right? We got to eat. So let's go to the 2-minute drill. All right, so here's the trivia, guys. 2 of these 3, I'm making it easy for you as we get here into this playoff edition, because I want you all to eat and eat well at Sorrentino's on Main Street, are multiple choice, okay? The Bills ended their 20-game losing streak to Miami opening day 1980. The 2 teams combined for A, 9, B, 11, or C, 13 turnovers. 9, 11, or 13. Terrible game, clearly. What do you think? Shoot out a number.
Say 9.
Play together.
Clearly terrible game.
All right, 9 is a lot to begin with.
9's a lot to begin with.
Yeah.
You're gonna go 9?
Go 9.
You're gonna.
Is it 11?
No, it's 13, guys.
Oh.
The Bills turned the ball over 7 times. Joe Ferguson had 5 picks in that game, and the Dolphins turned it over 6 times.
Passer rating.
I don't know. In 1980, they might not have had a passer rating back then. Needless to say, the Bills won. That's all that mattered. It ended it all. The crowd rushed the field. They tore down the goalposts. Great, right? Question number 2. Ryan Fitzpatrick obviously played for the Bills and the Dolphins. He's a Harvard grad. Miami had an Ivy League quarterback of their own early in the 2000s. Played there for about 5 years. Who do you think that is?
Jay Fiedler.
Jay Fiedler is right. Dartmouth, all right, you're 1 for 2. Not bad. Batting 500 is good for anybody. Finally, what running back has the most 100-yard rushing games against the Bills? Was it Ricky Williams, Larry Zonka, or Lamar Smith? What do you think?
It's Ricky Williams. I'd go A.
Are we all in agreement?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's got 400-yard games. In fact, he has the most rushing yards in one game against the Bills for the Dolphins franchise ever, 228.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams took off 4. Guys, you were 2 for 3, not bad. Now, let's get to your picks for the game. We'll go outside in. Sam first. What do you think?
Well, I think it's 34-14. Another solid win for the Bills. I can't imagine in front of the home crowd with everything on the line.
And especially against the hated Dolphins, divisional rival, 3rd time, right?
Yeah.
Jared, you?
I mean, it depends if Tua plays, but I still think we win either way. I'm going to go 30-10. 30-10, yeah.
Pretty remarkable. I mean, there's 5 points different. They're -1 in the end, like the difference between the 2 scores. But the quarterback means everything, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Miami's going to come up with some trick plays and some things. 31-21. Bills win.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's looking like Tua's going to play, so if he doesn't, I'm going to go 35-13. If he did play, I would just go 31-21.
Okay, but a lot of points from the Bills offense, clearly from all 4 of you. And, of course, the defense plays well as well and comes out with a victory and advances out of the divisional round. Guys, thanks as well for being on and part of the huddle. We appreciate it. Okay. You're going to join me next. We're going to talk about the game in particular, Miami, and the wild card matchup on Sunday at 1 at Highmark when we come back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin, the clinical director here at the new Shatkin Dental Health Postgraduate Dental Residency Program. For years, I've felt there's been a need to help those patients who just can't afford quality care but want to be treated in a private dental office setting. Shatkin Dental Health will save you 20 to 30% on the procedures you need without compromising the care you deserve.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile and receive a dental cleaning and x-rays for only $43. And as always, consultations are free.
It's bad going through life having to cover your face because you're embarrassed of your teeth. I wasn't comfortable at all. I didn't want dentures. I had the fixed on 6 done. It was easy. It literally changed my life. I can eat anything now. I can smile, I laugh. I don't have to cover my face anymore. It was awesome.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
All right, final segment on this wild card edition. Of course, love to DeMar, of course. Continue to pray for 3 as he's returned to Buffalo. We're so happy to see that. But we return for our fourth and final segment with Dr. Jared Shatkin, Rich Gaenzler, talking about the Dolphin wild card game. And listen, this is a quarterback-driven league. In Miami, it looks like they're not going to have a reliable quarterback in a playoff game of all times against a divisional foe in the third meeting. I think in the end, things don't look good for the Dolphins going into this game.
I think they were kind of lucky to sneak in the playoffs the way they've been playing the last month of the season. And I think even with Tua in there, they lost to the Packers in that game. And they've had a lot of games where Tua played and they just haven't really looked that good down the stretch here. So, and listen, if Tua doesn't play, they're going to need a miracle.
Yeah, and then you look at Tyreek Hill, who got nicked up in the Jet game. Is he going to be 100%? Obviously, he and Waddle had a massive game up here in Buffalo a couple of weeks ago, as did Mostert. We don't think Mostert's going to play. He's got a broken thumb. So you lose Mostert. You don't have your starting quarterback, maybe your backup quarterback, and Tyreek Hill not at 100%. I don't think the Dolphin defense is reliable enough to win that game for them in Buffalo at Highmark.
Well, I mean, even if you're talking about everybody healthy, which we already beat them in Buffalo with everybody healthy, probably playing one of their best games of the year. And then you look at the pass defense, which is 7th worst in the league, to Josh Allen, whose elbow finally looks like it's being able to be healthy. The receivers are finally clicking. I think it's just kind of a recipe for success for us.
Yeah, and I think a good confidence builder, especially on the offensive side of the football, right? Have some successes and maybe end this game. I would love for this game to be over with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter and sit Josh down and some of the other starters that have had some nagging injuries all year long. Boy, that would be something. And I don't know if they're preaching that in the room or even thinking about it, but my gosh, someplace in the back of their heads, they're probably thinking, man, if we can get out to a big lead and sit on it in the fourth quarter, what a benefit that would be for this team.
Yeah, and I would hope they're not thinking like that because I don't want them to look over a playoff opponent. But if you're a fan, yeah, you would love to see that. You would have loved to see a bye because you want to see these guys get fully healthy. But, you know, under the circumstances, I think the best thing to do is get a Dolphins team that's kind of plummeting a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, you've already made your prediction. I'll make mine now. I think the Bills win 27-20. I think the Dolphins figure out a handful of ways to kick a couple of field goals and maybe get a touchdown. Maybe they convert a Bills giveaway into some points. But I still think the Bills are by far the better team, and they will advance into the divisional round. Before we say goodbye, I need someone to come out from behind the camera, of great help and supporter of our show. She's done social media and also our YouTube channel. Cindy Lee has been great. This is a little something for you. You are leaving us and moving to Florida. We wish you all the best. You were also a part of the Mafia a couple of times. You have been great, and thank you for everything you've done behind the camera for us on the show. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Enjoy your time away. And
I'll miss you guys.
get back here for sure, okay? Come on the show next year. Cindy Lee, everybody, who's been so great. Obviously, Dave, Tim, Mark, Maria, the rest of the crew has been great as well. We want to thank Shatkin First, Aesthetic Associates, I Smile, Dr. Todd Shatkin, and Russell's as well. Go Bills. Let's win this wild card. Keep praying for tomorrow, and we hopefully will see you. No, not hopefully. We will see you for a divisional round Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Have a great week.
If you would like to be a participant in the Shatkin First Down Huddle, email Mark Aarons at maarons@shatkinfirst.com. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.